My name's Braden. I'm a game designer at Willie Walrus Games, and we're just about to launch Beat Blast tomorrow morning in under 24 hours. And I just thought it'd be worthwhile recording a conversation between me and Arthur, just before we launch and our expectations. And then we're going to record a video probably in about a week and just, give some insight on this launching on Steam and like the game process and stuff. So, Arthur, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hey, I'm Arthur. I do the programming and development at Willie Walrus Games. A little bit of game design here and there as well.
Tons of game design.
Yeah.
So yeah, Beat Blast is
collaborative.
Beat Blast has been in development for 2.5 years. A year of that's been early access, and then a year before that we were on itch.io on like a web browser for actually ever since it started. So the whole time we've pretty much been in early access.
Yeah, we had the Game Jam to start, which was an interesting prototype, and then it was 6 months or so of actual development, and then straight on to itch.io as the demo. And it's been public ever since then. For every
Yeah,
single
I
update.
guess January 2019 it was Global Game Jam or whatever.
Yeah, and then I think the longest we've gone without an update was probably this 1.0 push that was like a month and a half to make one massive final update.
Yeah, it's pretty much been oh god, yeah, it's been like 2 years of early access in some ways.
Yeah.
But we were super fortunate having the demo up. We had some people kind of luckily play it and get us some traffic, and we got a lot of traffic spikes on itch, and then we were able to get about 16,000 wish lists for our launch last year in August 2020, and then we've kind of stayed at that level. Ideally we would have liked to have grown a lot of wish lists, but people have deleted it or bought it or added it, so I don't know, we'll see how it converts. I think our wish list conversion's kind of low right now. Actually, I was looking at it the other day.
Yeah, it's very low.
I think it's like 10% maybe, and then Steam suggests it should be like around 20ish, I think. So that just might be because of early access though, but
I thought it was well under 10%, but yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if a lot of it's because of our lower demographic. Like we're appealing to a much younger demo that might not have their own spending
I
money
guess
and
so.
whatnot.
Part of it I think might have been like a lot of low quality wish lists came in from like the Russian streamer. We had a really big Russian streamer make a few videos. He was kind of like, he has like 3.5 million subscribers, and he made like 3 videos on the web demo, and that drove a lot of traffic. So a lot of our players are actually like young Russian players, which is great. But I don't know. We don't really know how to predict their behavior. Maybe they're holding out till. I guess we'll see tomorrow if people are holding out for 1.0.
Yeah, some of it might be 1.0. Some of it might have been since they were Russian, they were waiting for localization.
That's
which
true.
is coming in
Yeah,
1.0, so that could be huge.
Yeah.
It could also be that they wishlisted because it was a free game on itch and didn't know it would cost money on Steam.
Yeah.
I guess that's a factor as well. And then the younger age group, and just generally not having their own spending money and whatnot.
Yeah. So
I think there's a lot of factors.
So yeah, okay. Well, for tomorrow, I think we both kind of talked about it before, but we'd like to see we sold around 3,500 in our first year of early access, which obviously I think it's good. It's for our first Steam release, I think we're happy about it, but I think we'd like to see more. Of course,
Yeah,
who doesn't? So I think for the first week, we'd like to see around like 1,000 more sales would be nice. I think, but
yeah, that would make me happy as 1,000 more sales in the first week. I think it's also a very niche genre, and I think that's part of why it hasn't gone. I know bullet hells are pretty intimidating, and a lot of people don't want to stream them and stuff. I think just because you have chat yelling at you.
Yeah, and I think a lot of roguelikes now are kind of more. You can kind of sit back and kind of make strategic decisions, and there's that kind of genre within the roguelike is kind of taking off as well. We're similar to Gungeon, and that kind of seems, I don't know, who knows, right? It kind of seems even more niche. So
it definitely, when you're streaming especially, I feel like you want something more laid back so you can talk and pay attention to chat, because you have a million other things going on, right? So I do think it's just not as streamer friendly as we may have thought when we first started.
Yeah, I think it makes good YouTube content, but I mean, we'll see. So I contacted a bunch of people. I contacted a bunch of YouTubers over the last week and a half to try and get some coverage, and then we had some YouTubers who covered it last year for early access. So they said they'd make more videos again. I think Wonderbot said he'd make another video. Really hoping for Splattercat to make a video. So ideally, I don't know. Cross our fingers tomorrow. And then if certain people don't make videos, I think we'll just pay for a sponsored video. I think that's probably worth doing. I mean, I can't think of any better way to spend marketing money, because these YouTubers are so keyed in on like the niche that like putting that money towards Reddit or like Facebook ads or whatever, like you're not hitting the right people. Whereas these guys have like a curated subscriber list of people who are like actively buying those games. So
yeah, it's much more targeted.
Super targeted. So I mean, that'd be pretty sweet. I got some Reddit posts tomorrow. I'm hoping we'll do well.
When we tried paid Reddit ads at the start of early access, right, and it didn't really pan out that well.
I mean, I spent about like $1,200, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard for me to know. There's a way of like tracking it. It was okay. I mean, we got a lot of impressions. I did Google ads as well.
Yeah, I think what we got from that, more than sales or wish list, from what we could tell, again, it's kind of hard to track it, but it seemed like most of what we got was external traffic, which was like still valuable, I think. But
I think that's valuable. I think, Steam does drive a lot of analytics and like pushes you up or higher or lower based off of your external traffic, which was I think was a good thing from our web demo, was pushing a lot of external traffic to it. But
yeah, the downside is there's no way for us to measure if it was $1,200 worth.
Steam since then, I think Steam's put in more ways to link up your like analytics and things. So, but I don't know. I think it's worth just buying probably a video instead. But I don't know. We'll see. So since I gave out a bunch of keys last week, Arthur, I can see like how many people have redeemed like a press key.
Oh yeah.
So we had about 104 already activated, and I think we have like 110 now, so maybe about 6 people.
Okay, I mean that's not bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
How many did you send out last week?
I don't know.
Like
I had a whole Google Doc sheet of keys, so I don't know, maybe like 30-ish, maybe, probably more. So
okay, that's not. Well, it's not fantastic, but that's 6 that didn't have it before, most likely, right? So
yeah, well that's Wonderbot
for
or
instance.
yeah, exactly. Wonderbot, some other people already had it, so I don't know. We'll see. Oh
Yeah,
man,
it's a new concept, at least. I just hope they all do something.
I just hope the game sells. Oh god.
I don't care about the money so much. I just want people to play it.
No, I don't. No, well, that's the thing. We're doing this part time, so it's not like we're paying bills with this. I mean, I couldn't even imagine. Oh my god.
No.
Imagine how we had like a bunch of bills and people to pay. Like, oh man. No, it's more of just like you've put in a lot of hours in this, and I want the marketing to also be good. I don't know. It's just so hard marketing at this like size and scale.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we just want the time to be worth it, and we want people to enjoy it, and like it to get enough visibility that people.
I mean, looking at the game now, it's like, yeah, definitely the art, like the first impression of just like the basic art is like holds it back. I mean, there's so many games that you're like, oh, that looks good, or like it has to be a certain level, and people would kind of, I don't know, it's just, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. The original intention was we were gonna do like a 6-month to 1-year project, right? And it was gonna be like our first trial run at putting something on Steam, trying marketing and all of that.
2
and then
years
it just like
later.
kept growing, and we kept wanting to add more things,
Well,
and it ended up being a 2.5-year project.
yeah, well, it's actually in some respects it like we got it up into early access in a year and a half, so that wasn't that bad. Like whenever you so
on it in 6 months.
I know. So if we say like, okay, if we said, oh yeah, we'll just spend 8 months, it's game dev. You can pretty much just double or triple whatever you think you're gonna get it. Like,
Yeah. Well, and the general rule is like it's pretty much impossible, as far as I've heard from like people more senior than myself, is like it's pretty much impossible to release a production ready game in under 6 months. Like 6 months is literally the minimum with a
No,
team.
and I think
And yeah,
I think we looked at the market and we realized like a lot of people don't buy $2 to $4 or $5 games. In some sense, they think if the developer isn't willing to like value it at a higher level, then like it's maybe not worth playing. And also, we wanted to give ourselves enough room to put it up on big sales. Like when winter comes up, maybe we'll put it on a big sale, and so we'll see.
yeah, for sure,
We'll see.
for sure.
Well, I guess we'll see. I mean, I guess we'll have this conversation a week from now, and we'll see how our first week of 1.0 did. I don't know. I'm excited and hopeful. Cross my fingers. Well, I guess we'll wake up tomorrow morning at I'll probably wake up at 8:30 and just start getting stuff together, and then we can push the post at 9 or whatever and let it go live.
Yeah, and I gotta terminate the competition and start it fresh, so we don't have 1.0 with pre 1.0 things mixing. Although thinking about it, I'm sure there are a couple press accounts doing that anyways.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
it's your first time playing, you're not scoring anyways.
Yeah.
You're not on the leaderboard.
Anything else? I can't really think of anything else.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have this conversation in a week. I'll talk to you then. Okay, Arthur. So it's been about 3 weeks since we launched. It is September 14th, and we launched August 25th. And I'm pretty happy with launch. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy too. I think we were erring on the side of like 1,000 units would make us feel good in the first week, and we got that in about 36 hours. So anything above that was kind of gravy for me.
Yeah, so we kind of got around 2,500 sales and around 6,000 new wish lists in the first week. Those numbers have gone up a bit since then, but we're kind of now averaging around 20 sales right now. It dips down to maybe a 15 or so daily. So I'm pretty happy with that. If that keeps steady like that, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, I was not expecting it to go as well as it did, and certainly I was expecting it to go lower than double digits 3 weeks later each day. So that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So going into launch, we had about 16,000 wish lists and about 750 converted in the first week. I think some of our wish lists were from pretty long ago, so they're going to be lower quality. I think some of the wish lists we're getting now, since coming out of early access, are going to convert a lot higher.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the first big sale, which will probably be either Halloween or Christmas, probably Christmas. It'll be interesting to see how much that accelerates. From the looks of it, only 9 people got it as an actual gift from their wish list. The others just bought it for themselves out of the 750 that converted. So I assume the gifting will really amp up towards the holidays, which will be interesting to see.
Yeah, exactly. So probably do a little bit of a discount Halloween and then a pretty big discount for Christmas, and maybe try and get some more YouTubers on it.
Yeah, get an update or two in that time.
Yeah, so I think actually one of the main takeaways is Steam kind of still pushes you out of early access. I wasn't really sure how much traffic they'd push your way. Now, the one thing is you can't be on coming soon because you're already out. So I don't think you get that kind of traffic, but you get on new and trending at least if you're above a certain threshold, I think.
Yeah, and it seemed to really stick us on there for a while. We were up there for 2.5 days on new and trending, and that was really, really not expected. We'd heard that you would get it at the start of early access and then not for full release, and then apparently they do both. So you really do get 2 release days on Steam, as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, and actually, if you go to categories on the Steam store page, we're actually on the front page of Action Roguelike, which is pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then I think we're on the second page for Arcade and Rhythm, which are the 2 top left genres. So I don't know that that matters, but yeah, still good. Localization paid for itself right away, right?
Yeah, we did Chinese simplified, Chinese traditional, and Russian because a massive portion of our early access players were Russian. and our alpha players before that. And Russia hasn't actually converted so much yet, but Taiwan certainly did to make honestly, Taiwan paid for all of the localization within like 3-4 days. So definitely would translate again, would localize again on the next project because it does seem to pay for itself really quickly.
Yeah, I was surprised by the Taiwan. I guess maybe we just got lucky and some YouTuber or content creator found it on the front page and I think maybe made some videos or something. I'm not quite sure, but
yeah, I think it helps that during your release week, Steam really pushes you in discovery queues as well. And I would assume it prioritizes things in your language. So if you have your Steam set to Russian language or Chinese language, there's fewer games for it to draw from with that preference. It probably weights it in some way.
yeah.
So I think it's a huge like hidden advantage that's kind of hard for us to calculate, but I think it's big. I think it really helped us.
Well, it's helping our daily numbers too, because we'll get two or three from Taiwan, one or two from China, and then a few from Russia. So that instantly, when you have smaller daily numbers, getting like 6, foreign language sales is super helpful, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
So were you happy with the amount of YouTubers that covered us, or what did you think?
It was a little low. I believe we reached out to like 30 YouTubers and news sites, and no news sites featured us. YouTubers, I think we had 2 drop on the actual release day and none before it. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but I don't believe we had any like the week of before it released.
That's correct.
Yeah, and then within the first week, some did start rolling in, but mostly not the ones we'd contacted. And even we were kind of hoping that some of the ones we contacted would come back and say, yes, for this much. It costs this much for me to feature a game. And we didn't get any of those either. So we actually ended up not paying for any streamers, which was not expected, like we were intending to.
Yeah, I mean, I even reached out to some people offering a sponsored video, but I didn't hear back from them. I mean, we did pretty targeted marketing in the sense that we went for YouTubers that only play our very niche roguelike, twin stick shooters, bullet hell, similar to Enter the Gungeon kind of feel.
Yeah, and very, very indie. Reddit panned out really well, actually. Some of the subreddits we wanted to target didn't. They actually banned us in some cases because they considered it self-promotion. But the Enter the Gungeon subreddit did really, really well.
Yeah, it did really well for us. It's actually interesting though, the amount of traffic that comes from Reddit is so dwarfed on your launch day, obviously, compared to Steam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's almost like you really want to build up, that wish list so much so on launch day, if everything still hits the fan and you get no YouTubers, Steam still really pushes you so much so that it kind of does some of the marketing for you as well, because I find a lot of YouTubers are just going to also play what's really popular in their genre. So it's kind of it's kind of a circle feeding in on itself in some ways.
Yeah, we ended up getting way more traffic just from YouTubers and Twitch streamers that said, "Oh, I saw this in new and trending. I thought I'd give it a shot," rather than people we'd actually contacted.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Exactly. So based off of our first 3 weeks out of early access and after our year of early access, what would you say are your main takeaways after launching our first Steam game?
I definitely think the alpha was out a little too long. I think we gave a little too much for a little too long there. In terms of actual early access, I think it was really positive. I think the wish lists we got during that time are probably not going to hugely convert. I think about 15 to 20% of them converted, something like that, over the entire course of the early access year. And then on actual launch week, I was expecting more than 750 to convert out of the 16,000. That was really surprising for me. But Steam support for both the early access launch and the full release were way more than I was expecting, and kind of overcame the poor wishlist conversion and the lack of larger YouTubers.
I think going forward for our next game, we definitely want to build a community. Not only our Discord, we have a really helpful Discord that helped us a lot in not only QA and testing, but helping with some of the translation issues. But I think also we want to kind of reach out more with some YouTube content and hopefully, start building our own press and our own media with our next game. I think that's my main takeaway. is not
Yeah,
not having to rely on other YouTubers when you could just, hopefully be driving enough traffic to your game yourself.
yeah, as much traffic as you can get, like that's a huge part of how successful you're going to be. The traffic you can directly drive to your store page, because Steam will do a lot, but external forces are just so hard to predict. We were sure we'd get a little bit more in the way of like larger YouTubers, and then it just didn't happen, and we were sort of at the hands of fate a little bit. Like we weren't really sure. Oh wait, now we have no idea how is this going to convert. We can only draw so many people from our Discord because those are people who already have the early access. So the more people you can reach out to, the better. Twitter wasn't super successful for us. It felt like we were mostly speaking to other devs on there more than your average actual like customer, like the person who would actually buy it. But I'm sure it helped a little bit, anyways, in its own way.
Yeah, I think after a year of being in early access and 3 weeks after full launch, have we made the amount of money or time we put into it? Not yet, but I think the tail end of it, maybe it sells for another 5 years. We might recoup some funds. I know the average roguelike median earning is around $14,000, and we've made well over that. So, that's a good start for our first game. We're starting to know the Steam market a bit more, and our next game's gonna kind of take that into accordance and really design, hopefully, for a more more popular genre.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I'm gonna double down on the shout out to our Discord. They really they were a huge help all the way through. Great positive reviews, great feedback throughout the early access process to help us make the game better. And they did come in clutch, like the day before launch when there were some translation issues found where the translators just didn't have the right context, and within 24 hours they had it all smoothed out for us. So really, really helpful to have them around, and for QA of course as well.
Yeah, really fantastic. I think that's
it's not just. Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, it's not just sales. Like you're building a community that's going to help you in tons of ways you don't even think about yet.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's about it for now. If you viewers have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. Yeah, and leave a like and share.